Well now, it's been a hot minute. Hello everyone, it's Fraser2198 back again to give another video, and today I'm going to be showing you my manga collection. This predates back to 2013 when my first manga that I bought was, believe it or not, Shingeki no Kyojin. That's right, Attack on Titan. I bought it during like a convention. It was MCM London back in 2013, I believe. I've been collecting up until about 2017, only because after that I've just been busy with a lot of things, primarily school, but I decided to show you what 4 years can get you. Now, it's not, again, like, what I'm about to show you is a lot, so bear with me. And more importantly, I don't want anyone to just assume, like, oh, he must have a lot of money to buy all this. Like, again, it took me, like, about 4 years to get where I am. And I'll still continue to collect, and it'll still grow, but this is just like what 4 years can do for you. So I hope you guys enjoy. Alright, we have volumes 1 all the way to 25 of Bleach. If you don't know anything about Bleach, I can only assume you've been living under a rock, because it was at one point considered one of the big three, and if you don't know what the big three are, it's Bleach, One Piece, and Naruto. What I have to say about Bleach is that it's for what it was excellent. It definitely had its problems, but all in all, I think it's a perfect sort of gateway. This was my gateway into reading, not necessarily manga, but it was definitely my gateway into like the Shonen Jump scene. So I definitely recommend, if you are a beginner, you should probably pick this up next to like obviously One Piece and Naruto and all that, but definitely. Do pick this up. It is an amazing find. The next manga that I have is Helsing Volume 1 by Koto Hirana. You may have seen Helsing the Abridged series, but I definitely recommend, if you can, to watch the Helsing Ultimate anime. There's another anime. It's just called Helsing. That's okay, but it's not the best. Helsing Ultimate's a great anime, and you know what? Helsing is actually a great manga, too. I have read a couple volumes, but I sadly only own the one volume. It is only 10 volumes long, so I will be picking up more of that. Great read, though. Next, we have something called The God's Lie. It's actually just sort of a story contained within one volume of manga. I'm not going to open any of the pages and spoil it, because it is just one manga. But I highly recommend picking this up, because it's a great read. Actually, Aki Dearest actually recommended this manga a lot. I didn't know she recommended it. I actually just picked it up, and I thought it was an amazing story. I hope they do animate this. I don't know if there's a work in a movie or something. It could work as a movie, but like honestly, great piece of manga, and it's heartfelt. That's all I'll say. It's not. I'm not going to say anything more about it because I feel like I'm spoiling it, but it is so heartfelt that I just enjoyed this piece so much. Pick it up, definitely. Next, we have My Hero Academia Volumes 1 and 2. I only have 2 volumes because at the start of sort of My Hero, season 1 anyways, I started reading the manga a lot online, and I only, not just recently, but after a good couple months after the anime came out, I decided to start collecting some of the volumes. It is a really good read. I highly recommend picking it up if you can. I know I'm like so far behind in my volumes here, but it is actually such a good read. I love that Deku is sort of like, yeah, he basically took up like Naruto's mantle, because obviously Naruto ended, and there needed to be there needed to be a big shonen to fill its gap. This is definitely worth it. Okay, I pointed at her ass, but I didn't mean to do that. But anyways, that was really good. I like the dynamic between green Naruto and orange Sasuke. I'm joking. They're their own characters, kind of, but they are inspired by like traditional shonen tropes. But it is amazing. It's heartfelt. It's got a lot of character to it, and what's amazing, I'm going to turn this over because that's appealing. And what's amazing about this is that all the side characters actually have plot-relevant stories to them, and they're not just brushed away. Like, it's really well done in that the side characters get well-written stories, and you actually care about them too. They're not just written in and you're like, oh, I kind of like the look of that person or whatever. No, they are really good. Like, really good. Definitely do pick this up. So another classic manga that I have is Gant's Volume 1. Now, the reason why I don't have a lot of Gant's volumes isn't because of its mature content, which, by the way, this is definitely mature. Please, for the love of God, if you read this, know that it has like sex, violence, blood, gore, all the great stuff. I I'm trying to like persuade you not to read it, but like honestly, it's really good. Like I swear to God, it's really good. It's like 37 volumes total, and the reason why I haven't picked up any more volumes is because the omnibuses have been coming out, and I just haven't had the chance to collect all the omnibuses. But like, it is really good. Like, if you watch the anime, and I know, like, because I watched the anime, I thought the anime was like garbage. This, like, just read the manga. Like, I know I'm sounding like one of those typical, oh, read the manga type guys, but I swear to God, please read the manga. It's that good, and it will change your outlook on a lot of things. But Gant's, like, this is just volume 1, and I like, it's such a good read. Like, definitely, yeah, look at that. Anyways, yeah, Gant's volume 1, really good. Definitely do pick it up. Now the next thing that I own, I wish I actually had more volumes of, is Kuroko no Basket, or Kuroko's basketball. Technically translated into English, it's actually the basketball which Kuroko plays. It's really weird that it's translated like that, but this is an omnibus volume. It's volumes 1 and 2, so it's a little thicker than most of your regular mangas. I kind of wish that they released this in single volumes, because the omnibus volumes, like I don't mind certain omnibus volumes, but like this one in particular, like when you read some of it, like some of it gets like cut off in the middle, because like there'll be like written text and it's like cut off in the middle, and that's kind of annoying to me, because I genuinely, like, I already read all of it online, and I decided to like start collecting a couple volumes. Well, I say couple. I only have the one omnibus, but I do want to get more. But it's definitely not persuading to get it if like half of like the pages, well, not half the page, but there's like some of the pages missing, because it's like it's a bulky boy and you're not gonna read everything. So, you know, I personally have already read it online, so this is just to buy it to support it at this point, because you can't buy the anime legally because they haven't licensed it here. I don't know why. It was very popular. Funimation should have picked it up, or anyone, but they didn't. Whatever. But it's an amazing manga about basketball. This is actually one of the reasons why I picked up a basketball in the first place, but it's really good. Definitely do pick it up. The next manga that I own, it's weird. I just picked this up randomly. It's called CMX Madara, and it's only volume 2. I couldn't find like any other volumes, but the reason why I want to show you this is because it's a manga, but the mangaka was actually inspired by American comics, so it's actually written like how you would read it, like an American comic, if that makes sense. Like, instead of reading it from like this side, it doesn't make sense. You have to read it like it's a regular comic, and I thought that was really interesting, because I've never seen a manga like that, so I just picked it up. I don't really know much of the plot. I haven't read this one for obvious reasons. It's volume 2. I might try to read some scan translation online, but like it just looked really interesting that they went with the American sort of way, or the Western way rather, of reading comic books. So that was really interesting. Next is actually manga from behind, because the shelf is basically cramped. Behind here we have volumes 1 all the way through to 31 of one of my favorites, Slam Dunk. Now, Slam Dunk, so this is a complete collection of it. Slam Dunk is actually an amazing manga series. It's 31 volumes. It's, again, a basketball manga. You might see the theme here. Maybe Fraser really likes basketball manga. You might be right. Out of the 2 mangas that I read about basketball, I have liked both of them. So who knows? Maybe there'll be one in the future that I haven't read yet that might be bad, but I highly doubt it, because basketball is such an interesting sport to me, even though I don't watch it or really affiliate myself with any teams. But going back to Slam Dunk, it's really hard to, it's not really hard to describe it, but it's hard for people to understand like why I like it, because like with unlike with Kuroko actually focuses more on like it focuses on the characters and stuff, but like they have like, I don't want to say superpowers, but like unbelievable basketball skills. Here they're just regular people playing basketball, but like it's so character driven that it's amazing. Like you follow a boy here and his team, and it's so good. I know I'm stuttering and I really shouldn't, because I'm able to articulate. I'm fairly decently able to articulate myself, but it's such a good read. And I actually managed to pick all this up from like a dude who was just like moving, and he's like, yeah, I'll give it to you. I actually link in the description below to one of my manga haul videos. I actually show the complete collection there, all the volumes in its entirety. But like Slam Dunk is definitely worth the buy. And it's really good. Like, look on Mal. I don't want to use that as an excuse. Oh, look at Mal. It's top 20 or top 10 or whatever. But, like, it's really good. And, like, it's top 10 or whatever for a reason. So definitely do pick it up because it is worth the read. And oh my god, I fell in love with this the moment I read it. So do buy it. Okay, next we have volumes 1 all the way through to 4 of Zombie Powder. Zombie Powder is a I don't know how you pronounce his name, Taite Kubo or Tite Kubo. I say Taite Kubo's work. This is actually one of his earlier works, and it's just like a full volume manga series that had potential to definitely turn into an anime or even continue on. And you actually see some of his original thinking or characters or whatever designs later then incorporated into Bleach. Like especially this dude. Like this dude, especially, you're like, damn, that is definitely Tensei Zangetsu. Like that, you could not mistakenly see that at all. And like you'll see a lot of mangakas whenever they make up different works and stuff like that. They'll have mangas incorporated, sort of characters and stories incorporated into like past work. Like you'll see it with the guy who does Fairy Tail, Eden's End or Eden Zero, whatever the hell it's called. His new recent series, it's basically sort of the same character designs and stuff. This is definitely kind of like the same character designs, kind of ish, him especially, but like it's so different. It could have been, I'm not going to lie, it could have definitely been up there in terms of like shonen mangas and series and stuff like that. It had like a unique premise in my opinion, but it sadly only got 4 volumes as a release, and definitely pick it up only because you can see the influence with Bleach from here, and more importantly, there's like a lot of he answers a lot of like fan questions in this stuff, so you can definitely see like his original works being portrayed here. So definitely, if you're into Bleach, like if you're really into Bleach, get this if you haven't already read it, and it's a fun read. Definitely do get it. So here we have volumes 1 and 3 of oh my god, Jesus Christ. Blood, Blockade, Battlefront. There we go. BBB. Triple Bs. Why do you only have volumes 1 and 3, Fraser? Well, I did buy volume 2 as well, so it'd be volumes 1 to 3. But the volume 2 that they shipped in Amazon for some reason was a book of economics. So you have me there. I literally emailed them about it, and they're like, yeah, just can you like type in the barcode or whatever in the book that we sent you, so we know like we sent you a different book. I was like, okay, it had it. I tapped it to them, and like, oh damn, yeah, we really did give you the wrong book. Here's a refund. And I was like, come on, like I took the refund obviously, but I much rather would have preferred if I got volume 2. The reason why I haven't picked up volume 2 just yet is probably because of not lack of funds or anything, just I forgot. Like I had bought this, saw that, did the transactions, and then I bought a bunch of other things. But this is definite. Like okay, Kekai, it's called Kekai Sensen, but the English translation for it is Blood, Blockade, Battlefront. You'll find that the anime is called Kekai Sensen, and for some reason, I don't know why, but like for both of these volumes, it has a sticker on it that says brought to you from the creator of Trigon. So that's very inconvenient for me because it takes up like the art on the covers here. But honestly, really good read, really good anime. I haven't watched season 2 yet, which is a damn shame. I just have I have just a bunch of stuff to do, guys. But really do pick this up. It is actually top tier, really good. And that's all I have to say. I do need to pick up volume 2 though, so don't roast me in the comments about that, please. Okay, next up, we actually have one of my favorite manga series of all time, and that's Food Wars. So here's volumes 1 all the way through to 17. I am so far behind. I think I calculated it, and I was like, how was it 19? I think I'm 19 volumes behind, because the last volume 36, it's either out or it's coming out. And that's the last volume. There's a total of 36 volumes. And I remember I was actually keeping up to date with each new release. Like, I would buy this whenever it came out in the month. But, like, again, I just was busy with other things and you lose track of time. But, oh my god, it's a good read. However, disclaimer, this might be a spoil. I don't know to you, because if you've not read it, you don't know it. But, apparently, the ending kind of sucks. Or towards the end of the manga, it kind of sucks. Now, here's the thing. I've read past volume 17. I've read the scan translations online. I don't know. They introduced, like, this character. Like, I just kind of stopped reading there because, again, I was busy with other things. They introduced, like, this one character who's, like... I don't want to spoil anything because I really don't. But, like, they introduced this one character and he's kind of sketchy. Like, he's meant to be sketchy, and he's doing all these sketchy moves and stuff. And I was like, this is kind of like out of place. But again, if you're probably watching the anime, you probably have already seen the character or know about him because it's already there, right? The 4th plate or 5th plate, whatever. But like, oh my god, holy shit, is the manga amazing! And I will pick up every single volume, even if the ending kind of sucks. I don't know. I haven't read the ending. I don't know much about it. But I definitely will continue to read more of it. And then probably make a thoughts and opinions. I don't know. I'll make a thoughts and opinions. Maybe I'll eat my own words. Maybe I'll be like, yeah, the ending sucked, guys. Blah blah blah. But like, I genuinely really like this series, and it's definitely worth picking up. And because holy crap, is the art amazing? And I do like the story. I don't care what anyone says. It's food porn. Yeah, I get it. But like, I love the story, so definitely do pick it up. So here's the next the next series. It's volumes 1 all the way to 12 of Blue Exorcist. Or for the weebs out there, Ao no Exorcist, which translates to Blue Exorcist. There's really not much I can say about Blue Exorcist because it's just a series that I just personally didn't get the chance to read a lot of. I read up to I think volume 4, and then I watched season 1 of the anime. I know season 2 came out, but I didn't watch it. Because, again, I'm busy. That's just my excuse. If I say I didn't do something, it's because I was busy, guys. And I'm definitely trying to get into the swing of things. I read up to Volume 4. I thought it was pretty good. I watched the anime and got really confused. Because, like, if you don't know, like, the main character, his dad is Satan. And he has, like, devil powers, basically. Like, he has a sword that, like, lights up blue flames or whatever. And, like, he goes to, like, a school that trains people to be it's like an exorcist school or whatever. They deal with demons. Some has like obviously familiars with them. He has a brother. But like in the anime, they basically like there's a big baddie, which is obviously Satan. Like I don't want to spoil it, but like the big baddie in all this is Satan. And like in season 1, they basically defeat Satan, and you're just like, what the fuck? And then season 2 comes out, and I didn't watch it, so who knows who the new big baddie is? Maybe it's a secret organization that wants to bring Satan back. I don't know, but like I read the manga and like up to volume 4, and there was like nothing about like bringing back Satan or defeating Satan even. They were just training, so I didn't understand that. But yeah, I read about 4 volumes. I definitely need to read more. This is actually one of the first series that I picked up early on, back when I was collecting manga. I mean, I still do. I want to get back into collecting more, but like when I was really when I really cared about it, I picked up like all these volumes are like brand new. And I genuinely, like, the covers, like, the covers, the spines, everything, oh my god, it just feels nice and it looks nice. Like, it stands out. It's like a nice gloss to it. So definitely do pick it up. I know I didn't sell it as much, but it's just such an interesting little story. I say little, it's a pretty big story when you're dealing with Satan. But, like, it's a really interesting story. Definitely do pick it up. I need to read all of it, though. I need to catch up, at least. Okay, next up on the collection is volumes 1 all the way through to 7 of Assassination Classroom, or as an old buddy of mine used to put it, Ass Class, because we just abbreviated it. It's good. I know I paused when I said it's good, like, maybe it's not as good as what he thinks, or what he says. It's good. There is some problems to it, I'm not gonna lie. So the basic premise is basically, there's a school in which a group of students performed sort of not well academically, and they get put into this class and their entire goal of this class, or the mission rather, is to kill Koro Sensei. Koro Sensei is like best way to put him is a yellow octopus alien. He says he's an alien. If you read further on, you'll know whatever his origin story is, but he's an alien, a yellow octopus, and they gotta kill him. I don't know what the prize is. I forgot what if there was a prize at all or not. But it's like, look, if you kill him, I guess you'll pass. You'll pass the school, which makes no sense. But like, I guess because they're like Japanese students, like, man, grades are everything. But yeah, it's just a bunch of like students whose grades aren't the best, whose main focus is basically to kill this octopus alien. And I guess in return, their goal is like money or something, or fame. I don't know. Like they get a big sum, right? But like along the way, it's basically just like a bunch of other people come into play, like a bunch of other assassins, because obviously they want like a prize or something, or they want the they basically sort of want like the glory of killing essentially this freak. But yeah, Koro Sensei, by the way, is their teacher. So he's teaching these students how to kill him. and he's not dying. So like, what the fuck? But it's like a funny. It's not like, it doesn't take itself too seriously. In the moments it does really well. But it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's heartfelt. It's basically more of a comedy, if anything. So definitely do pick it up and read it. It's really good. And basically, season 1 and season 2 is like the adaptation of, I think this is 20 volumes. I could be wrong, 20 and 21, something like that, of the manga. So definitely, so it's pretty good. Alright, next up in the collection is volumes 1 to 5 of the Ergear Omnibus, and then volumes 18, 19, and 20. Okay, so each omnibus basically contains 3 volumes, as most omnibuses do, so it's about volumes 1 to 15. I'm missing 16, 17, and then I went to 18, 19, 20. I planned on getting Omnibus Volume 6, but then I realized this shocking revelation. The omnibuses suck. These big ones really suck, because if you bend the spine on them, I don't know how well the camera's going to pick up on this, but if you bend the spine on this bad boy, it's going to run all the way down. The camera probably didn't pick it up, which is annoying, but like the spine of this really gets it. Like volumes 1 to 4 are fine, because I didn't read them. I read all of it online, and then I bought it later. That's kind of what I do sometimes. So I decided to like pick up volume 5 of the omnibus and open it up, and my god, do not bend it all the way as you think. It's not that strong. Yeah, sure, that kind of goes with most of the manga, but like, Jesus Christ, I don't recommend picking these up. If you can find single volumes, please do it, but most of them are basically out of print anyway, so you're going to be stuck with them anyways. However, Ergear is a simple plot. I say simple because in the beginning it's simple, and then it always gets complicated later on. Ergear is a plot about our main character here, Iki. He's a pretty radical dude. All he wants to do is have true freedom. And for him, freedom comes in the form of these atomized roller skates. These roller skates, I know, basically it's you and like, I think a team of 3 others or 4, I don't know how many people, but it's like you, a team, and another team, and you basically use these roller skates that are like motorized. Like, okay, these roller skates are not normal roller skates. These are like some tricked out motherfucker. Like, these are really good roller skates. Like, they can do amazing tricks. They could basically like Iki basically is known as like the. Okay, I'm not gonna say what he's known as because that kind of spoils it. But basically, he can like fly. Like he uses these skates as wings, and he flies in the air as he's skating. The plot is basically like there's different skating factions and different territories for these guys to take. So they battle. They do like sometimes battle. For instance, one of the battles or whatever is like race from point A to point B. It's like basically it's like a relay race but with skates, and whoever can put their emblem on top of the tallest thing or whatever in a building, they own that land, and they own different lands and stuff like that. So it's really interesting. But then like, and I kid you not, volume's the fan, and it no longer becomes like, oh, we're building up all this land, we're having all this fun. No, it gets real freaking serious. My god. So definitely do read it. If you've already seen the anime, I don't want to say this because it's such a good read. I want everyone to read the volumes, but basically if you don't have the time, kind of just skip to Omnibus 5. So basically volumes 13 or whatever. And go from there, because my god, does it change very quickly. If you watch the OVAs, you under most of these important characters that show up later on. So just go from there. But definitely it's an amazing read. It's really good. And the anime is really good too. Definitely watch that. Okay, next up is a little rarity I own. D and Angel, volumes 1 all the way through to 11. This was published by Tokyo Pop, who is no longer in business. So whatever you can find, get it. There's a total of 13 released volumes in English, and I guess the mangaka just never finished the project. The initial premise is like there's like a dude, like a normal school dude, who's basically persona as like a master thief. Him, and they steal things. So far, that's all I've read. I haven't read much of it, because when I discovered that there's only 13 volumes in print, and there's no real ending, there's only the fan ending, which a lot of people agree is the real ending, because it's logistical, but it's still kind of bull, because it's not the real ending. So definitely, if you care about the fact that this doesn't have an actual ending, don't read it. It will disappoint you. However, if you don't care and you kind of want to get introduced to the story because you've watched the anime, there is no concrete ending, and that kind of sucks. But it's definitely a worthwhile read, and if you can, again, pick it up because it is rare, because Tokyo Pop made it, and you can no longer find any of this. Okay, next up on the collection here is volumes 1 all the way to 4 of Durarara. This is the... so don't get confused. Everyone's like, oh, where do I start with Durarara? Honestly, it doesn't really matter, except the fact that the light novels came first, then the anime, then the manga. The manga is the adaptation of the light novels only, and not the anime. Do not get confused by that. So if you've watched the anime and you read the manga, and you think to yourself, there's a lot of events that I've never seen, or have definitely changed, don't worry, it's not you, it's just based off the light novels. Which, if you haven't read the light novels, you definitely should, because it gives you more in-depth stuff. But, like, again, they basically adapted all of it, because there's so many seasons of it. I remember when I first watched the anime, there wasn't anything about it. It was just, like, the one season, maybe 2 OVAs, and that's it. Okay, here's something that I'll say that is kind of controversial, but a lot of people seem to agree with. Durarara is an amazing story. However, there are 3 characters. This guy, and her. They're boring. Like, they're not cool characters you want to watch, or read about, rather. There are 3 other characters, Shizuo, Izaya, and Salty, that are top-notch people that you want to know more about, watch them, read them, whatever. It's great. You could give less of a damn. I do not care. The manga... surprisingly good, well drawn, even though the characters do look kind of weird, like Shizuo, but, you know, who am I to judge? The anime definitely changed the character designs, like season 2 of the show. Good read. It's not for everyone. It is in the style of, like, Bakano. You know, sometimes, like, it'll start not in the beginning. The story won't start in the beginning. It'll actually start at the end and then work its way towards the beginning, so stuff like that if you really are interested in that. But yeah, volumes 1 to 4. By the way, this is just the adaptation of one of the arcs. So again, it's based off the light novels, so it's adapted from an arc. This is just known as Durarara. So this is where you'd want to start if you picked it up. Okay, so here's kind of a really weird pickup that I got. This is Final Fantasy Type 0 Side Story Volume 1. The reason why I picked this up is because I picked up this book. It's like a playthrough book or whatever of the game, and it came with, like, the first chapter of the manga, and I was like, well, that's stupid. I might as well pick up Volume 1. There's a total of 5 volumes to this. It's basically based off the game. There's a little side story to it. If you're interested in the Final Fantasy series, Type 0, which is really different from the rest of the Final Fantasy series, but still nonetheless has the Final Fantasy name to it, I guess pick it up. Other than that, you really don't need to, because you're not going to understand what's happening in this, and it won't be for you. But, like, if you play the game, then pick it up, or if you give a damn about Final Fantasy, maybe pick it up. You might care, who knows, but definitely, if you know nothing about this and have not played the game, please don't pick it up. It makes no sense. And it's just kind of there because I was like, I don't want to just read the first chapter. I kind of want to read the entire volume and see what's up. So, yeah. Okay, next up is volumes 1 through 15 and 16 and 17 of Attack on Titan. I don't know why I have this many volumes of Attack on Titan, to be honest with you. When it first came out, I wasn't that interested. Like, okay, hear me out. Season 1 was good. It was not that good. And I didn't want to pick it up after that. I didn't care. Because Season 1 is, like, action. And, you know, you're moving on in the plot. Season 2 is literally, like, apart from, like, Levi's battle with Kenny, is literally just, like, plot heavy. Well, not even plot heavy. It's just talking, man. Give me some good stuff. That's why it's only like 12 episodes or something. But I hear season 3 is really good, and 4, I think 4 might be the final season. I'm not 100% sure, but they plan on adapting all of it, and it'll be like the final thing. Even though I didn't think the manga hasn't ended yet, so I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, volumes 1 through to 17. I don't know. I guess because like Attack on Titan Volume 1 was legit. Next to Durarara Volume 1 was legit the first manga that I picked up ever. So, you know, it's definitely got some backstory to it, but goddamn, I didn't think I'd get 17 volumes of it. And there's still more. I'll probably still collect all of it, because it's definitely a titan of a series. But, dislike, whatever, moving on. Okay, next up is by far the longest running shonen that I own. So what I mean by that is like, look, okay, so volumes 1 all the way through, right, over here, all the way through to 49 of Naruto. So what's my backstory with Naruto? You might be asking, like, hey, why do you have like 49 volumes of Naruto? Naruto it gets a lot of shit thrown at it, but I think, and this is my honest to God opinion, 27 to Shippuden, you will have a good time because, yeah, okay, this is the building blocks, right? Volumes 1 to 27 is the building blocks of Naruto, but like, if you can get past his childish antics, because Kid Naruto is so freaking annoying. Like, everyone thinks like, oh, Asta from Black Clover is annoying. No, Asta just screams. Bio Boy over here is so freaking annoying in the beginning, I almost gave up. Because, like, I don't like Kid Naruto. I didn't like emo Sasuke. By the way, Sasuke doesn't change, really. He's still freaking emo, but, like, he has this dark past. She's not useless, but she's frustrating because, like, unlike with Bleach, Bleach, they're teenagers. They're not really kids, and they don't act necessarily stupid, right? There is comedic elements to it. Here, it's like stupid, and then it gets to the serious shit, and it gets to the good stuff. Like what the fuck? Kishimoto saying before, it gets kind of funny, and then it gets like boom, like the block. That's why it's like white here, because it's like, oh yeah, like don't get me wrong, Volume 4, right, with Zabuza, really fucking emotional. When I watched the anime and this scene, really good. But then after a while, like, the anime is trash because 100 episodes of it is filler, so don't watch the anime, read the manga. But like, it's like kid. It gets kind of serious somewhere around like volumes. Oh, I don't know. Let me see. I think maybe here, volume 16 or something. It's still kind of boring, and then time skip, and it gets real good. Like I'm trying to find my favorite volume. Yeah, there you go. One of my favorite volumes of all time, and I think we all know why. Good on you, Itachi. Anyways, yeah. So I don't want people to think I'm shitting on this. I just want people to understand that my frustration reading it from the beginning, because I didn't grow up on it, kind of sucked. But then it gets really good, so it's definitely worth it. But like, if you can endure 27 volumes of just like Kid Naruto and his antics and his like friends' antics, like that's fine. Cause like, oh my god, who's the, oh my god, Lee is a cool character, right? I think we all know who Lee is, right? Fun. Lee's a really cool character. Garo is cool. But like, when the majority of your manga is basically focused on Date Bio Boy over here, it's really annoying. Like, even in the anime, like, they knew about this, right? Even in the anime, Kid Naruto goes up to adult Naruto, or like teenager Naruto, whatever, like an older Naruto, and he acts in front of him, and older Naruto's like, damn, was I always that annoying? It's like, yeah, you were always this annoying. It is, again, part of the big three. It is heartful. It has his serious moments, and I know a lot of people do shit on this manga because it's, I don't know, it's a shonen. People like to shit on shonens. I personally can't find much flaw. Again, like what I already said in the beginning is my own opinion and my opinion alone. But it does get really good. Like, I'm not, like, it gets really good, and I have read up to the end. I just need to get more. I'm just one box set away, again, because I have up to 49 volumes. I'm just one box set away from completing all of it. I'll complete this before I completed Bleach, to be honest with you. But it is a really good read. Just stick with it, and it does pay off. Trust me. It's kind of like with One Piece, right? Like, a lot of people are like, I don't want to read One Piece. It's like 1,000 chapters. Who has the time for that? But like, people who have read One Piece, they're like, dude, put in. I know it sounds rough, but put in the time, and it's really good. It's the same thing, right? Put in your time, put in your dues, and you'll get to the good stuff eventually. Yeah. So that's my opinion on Naruto. All right. Next up on the collection, we have volumes 1 all the way through 13 of Dead Man Wonderland, a complete collection. Really good read. If you've watched the anime, you might get a little annoyed because the anime doesn't really have an ending. I guess they just decided, the studio who made it decided not to adapt more of it. It's a really good read. I remember finishing and I thought to myself, damn, for these boss fights, because they're really good. And I like the fact that like each of the covers is like white, black, because it gives you like that really nice sort of color to it instead of all of them being the, as you can tell, there's no cover art on the spine or anything like that to distinguish itself. It's just like white, black, white, black, black, black. And I really like that. Like, visually, it looks amazing. But yeah, the story is great. The character's great. The basic plot is this kid gets put in prison because he was wrongfully convicted of killing his classmates. I know, right? Like, all of them. And he gets put into this prison that basically capitalizes on prisoners killing each other in these death games, and he needs a way to basically escape. He meets a bunch of people along the way who may or may not be good guys or bad guys. It's hard because, like, you at first you trust them, then they turn out to be bad, or at first they look bad but they're actually really good, like their intentions are good. And it's a really great plot. Definitely worth picking up if you can. It's only 13 volumes as well, so it's not too bad, and it's a completionist dream because you can collect all of it in 13 volumes. Okay, next up in the collection is, and I'm not joking, my only Japanese-owned manga. That's right, this came straight from Japan. Volumes 1 all the way through to 10 of Golden Boy. You may have seen Golden Boy, and a lot of you are probably like, I've never seen Golden Boy. There is a popular GIF or clip of a character swimming in a pool. It's basically dubbed over because the English dub is hilarious to watch. And this is where it's from. It's like a comedy. Okay, it is really hard for me to describe the complexity of Golden Boy because it is really good for only 10 volumes. But like the basic story is we follow this main character guy. Actually, that might not be the best volume to look at now that I realize, because it's portraying two other characters who aren't really plot relevant until much later. But neither does this woman. Hello, YouTube demonetization. I welcome you with open arms. But basically, you follow this main character. This is so weird because the covers are basically like erotic women, and it initially, but like they're not really important at all. Like she's only here for like one chapter or two, but like it's this dude who's like the most important character of them all, and it's really annoying that they do this. But like at the same time, it's actually really funny that they do. But basically, Golden Boy is the story of our boy here. I forgot his name. It's been such a long time, but you follow him, and he goes around to like different jobs and people that you meet along the way. Either he doesn't perform. Okay. Boy, this is hard to describe this without. He's not a prostitute per se, but he helps people, and at the end, like the people that he helps don't know that until the end, and he travels on, and he makes people's days so much better. But then, like around volume 4, it gets kind of serious, and there's more heavy plot, and it gets really it's just a dude whose every day is going out, exploring the world, helping people out, even though they don't know that they need his help, or at the end they realize, oh damn, he really helped me, and then he just rides away. Like that's basically it for not the majority, but a good amount of the manga is basically him riding along, helping people. It's a heartfelt manga. I don't necessarily think that that its message is there. There's not really a message, because there really isn't a message. Like maybe live carelessly might be the message. I don't know. I might make an analytical video about this series, but like goddamn is it good. And you can't find it English translated at all. So I had to buy it in Japanese. And now that I actually own like Japanese manga, I can say it just feels better to hold than like the American translated stuff. But goddamn is it's worth the pick. Buy it. Buy the Japanese, learn to read Japanese, and you won't regret it. Or alternatively, just read the scan translations, and if you really like it or not, buy it in Japanese. It was pretty cheap. It's like $100 or less, because the manga in Japan is a lot cheaper than it is in Canada. But it's so good for the plot. Okay, next up is volumes 1 to 15 of Mars. I'll be honest with you guys, I've never read this manga. All I basically know, the premise is that it's, I really don't know. I really wish I could get, like, most of the manga that I own, I actually have not completed reading, or I just kind of buy them in bulk because someone decided to sell them. I don't know. Oh, it's a love story, probably more complicated than that. But apparently it's a really good love story because a lot of people liked it. Now, you might notice that the covers up here might be a little bit different because I guess it was initially picked up by Tokyo Pop and then probably picked up by a different company. But it says Tokyo... Oh, actually, Tokyo Pop changed their logo. So I guess this was the original and then it changed to this, maybe? Not 100% sure. Volumes 1 to 15 on Mars. Let me know if it's good or not. I will read it, but I personally don't have much clue about it myself. Alright, next up is volumes 1 all the way through 21 of Black Butler. What can I say about Black Butler? Well, Yona Toboso, I guess that's how you pronounce the mangaka's name. Goddamn, she has a really good story and a really good art. Like, really good art, really good story. Here's the thing about Black Butler that maybe not a lot of people know about me. I watched season 1, and I thought that half of it was kind of trash. Like, the first half was alright. The second half was trash. I watched season 2. That was garbage. Then I read the manga, because I'm like, there's no way the manga is that bad. Like, there's no way they're animating this from this. Because, like, I heard that season 2 was its own thing, and I was like, I need to get season 2 out of my head. It was really bad, so let's read the manga. And by God, is the manga actually great. Like, the manga is, like, the best thing you can read. I'm not joking. It's so good, it made me give a damn about Black Butler again. That's how good the manga was. Because, like, before the manga, if you just basically watch season 1 and 2 of the show, like, yeah, you can like season 1. I'm not denying season 1 wasn't good. Even though, for some reason, they adapt its own shit to it. Season 2 is horrible. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care about the little kid. I don't care about his butler. I just didn't care about season 2 at all. But the manga convinced me that it's so much better than that. Because I read up to Book of Atlantic, and then I kind of paused because again, I was busy with other stuff, but I read up to Book of Atlantic, and then I heard that they adapted it. I watched Book of Murder, Book of Atlantic. Good arcs. Really good arcs. Like, holy shit, they're good arcs. But, like, yeah, I definitely would recommend to read Black Butler. And, like, I'm a dude. And I know that, like, oh, what does your gender have to do with it? Like, don't act like that, but, like, my God, like, is it good? And I'm a dude who likes Black Butler. Like, dudes, go read this. It's good. It's not bad. Don't watch the anime, personally. Well, if you're going to watch the anime, watch half of season 1. So, like, up to, I guess, episode 13. Watch Book of Murder, Book of Atlantic, and then just read the manga, because I guess there's no more anime coming out, which kind of sucks. But yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. Okay, next up is volumes 1 all the way through a completed 15 of Battle Royale. This is the original Battle Royale genre, so this, to me, capped it off. You have Dim and Wonderland, all that stuff. But, like, this, to me, is the Battle Royale genre. And let me tell you something about this. I don't know why, but I guess I stopped reading gory stuff for a bit. So when I first read this, my stomach churned, because it's not like the blood and the death and stuff. There's, like, certain scenes in this manga that genuinely made me think, like, holy shit, this is messed up. Like, this is, like, killing his schoolmates to survive. I can get on board with that. But when it comes to other things, it's like, maybe let's not dive into that. But they do, and it's done not gracefully, but, well, it definitely, you as the reader, you're definitely like, god damn, that was, holy crap. If you can find it, good luck. This is, again, made by Tokyo Pop, who, again, went out of business. But if you can find it, please pick it up. It's really good. But goddamn, if you have a weak stomach, don't read it. Don't read it. But, like, it is really, like, this stuff. There was no anime adapted to it. I know there was, like, a live-action movie, but that was basically about it. Okay, next up, we have volumes 1 to 8 of Hands Off. I know that some of you are looking at these tags here. These are indeed used because, again, made by Tokyo Pop. Good luck trying to get new editions of this, or editions that haven't been opened. This one's fairly nice. Okay, Hands Off is not necessarily a weird manga, but it was weird to me. This was one of the early school library had them, and by golly gee, was it a weird experience. It's, the plot, oh boy. The plot is basically like, these two are bros, I think, or cousins, something like that, and they're friends with this dude, and, like, each of them have their own special ability. Like, this guy, the guy in the middle, who's actually one of my favorite characters in the manga, can, like, read auras. So, like, he can see what you're projecting. So, like, if you have if you're feeling jealous, he can notice that. If you're feeling, like, murderous intent, which apparently most of these dudes are, you can read it, and, like, I don't know. I'm not saying it's good. Why do I own it? For nostalgia purposes, really? But, like, I liked all of it, and I have it here, because why not? Again, Tokyo Pop, anything you can find of them, pretty much a buy, because it's basically all out of print, and nothing's recirculating anymore. That I know of. I don't know. Maybe you know something that I don't. Next up, we got volumes 1 to 2 of Parasite. Parasite was a good anime. And it's surprised that they republished this. I guess because they decided to republish this, because these are not the original volumes, people. Oh, no. These are republished volumes in like a nicer cover and everything, but Kodansha Comics, because the original volumes are much older than this. Definitely different designs and stuff, because I remember watching... this is a long time ago. I remember watching a YouTuber by the name of Codebreaker, and he showed his, like, Parasite collection. He's like, oh, this is very rare. Like, if it gets an anime, I'll be surprised. Got an anime, and they republished the manga because the anime was so popular that they're like, hey, we could totally sell this. And they did. They resold a bunch of these. These are not omnibuses, I think. They could be omnibuses. I'm not 100% sure myself. They're thicker than most, like, single volumes and stuff, but they're good. It's a good read. The ending is kind of lackluster in my opinion. I didn't really care for the ending that much because I was like, oh well, how sweet. I definitely have some thoughts and opinions on Parasite. If you want to watch some Parasite discussion videos, I have linked down in the description below, in the below, whatever. Where I basically kind of like have like the entire message of Parasite. Without giving away too much, is more of a political ideal than just these guys like fucking up. And like, yeah, everyone's like, well, okay, fuck, I'm gonna spoil it. I don't care. But basically, the main message that I could see, that I conceived from reading this and watching it, is like humans are bad for the environment. So these guys come down and eradicate them because like fuck it, they're ruining the earth. It's like what the fuck? Like that made no sense. Like it makes sense, but like I didn't get any of this vibe. I thought it was like more like, oh, we've come to colonize the earth, blah blah blah. We're gonna rule humans, and it goes through like different emotions of maybe some parasites can feel and conceive children and fall in love because they're not just heartless machines, heartless killing machines. But it's like the main crutch of it was like, hey, yeah, humans, we're coming down Earth and its nature, so time to kill you all. It's like the fuck. So I don't know. It's really good, but like I didn't appreciate that message. I was like, damn, that just came out of nowhere. In my opinion. I don't know. Next up, we have volumes 1 to 19 of D. Greymon. I'll be honest with you, boys. Have not read it. Oh, boy. I have not read it. I didn't even watch the anime. I just, like, someone was selling it, like a lot of volumes of this, and I decided to buy it. Because why not? It could be good, could be bad, who knows? I haven't read it. All I know is that for some reason, publication on this is really slow. Like the guy who made the manga took like a really long break, and he's now just coming back to making more of it. That's what I heard, at least. So yeah, volumes 1 to 19 of D. Greymon. I don't know, maybe it's good. Let me know if I should read it. Like, because again, I own a bunch of manga that I just haven't really had the time to read yet. Next up is well, this isn't a manga, but I thought I'd show you it. Code Geass, Lelouch the Rebellion, Stage 4, so volume 4, and it's a book. It's like a light novel based on the anime. Thought that was kind of interesting. Why not? Alright, next up we have One Punch Man, volumes 1 to 3. And if you have not already watched One Punch Man, the anime, what are you doing with your life? Because goddamn is it great. The art in the manga is also great. And I recommend that you go pick it up now. It is good to read, but the anime, apart from season 2, because the animation was kind of bad, but the story was there. It's really good. Like, the art is stunning. Like, the guy who made this made it as a joke webcomic, and, like, someone picked it up and was like, hey, you have a really good story, but I'm going to do better art for you. And they just made it, and it's so good. So definitely pick it up. Again, speaking of Durarara, but this is going back another volume, whatever. This is Durarara Volume 1, Yellow Scarves. So, as I told you guys before, Durarara... the mangas, because there's different volumes of mangas, different arcs in the light novel are adapted differently. So this is the Yellow Scarves arc. As I said before, read the light novels to understand anything in the manga. Next, we have the complete collection of Fruits Basket, volumes 1 all the way through to 23. It's a complete collection. It's a good shoujo. They produced not the new anime. Well, it is a new anime, but like it's a revamp of the old anime that came out, and it's continuing that, and a lot of people like it, and it's nice. It's really good. Definitely heartfelt, warming. It's great. Read it. Next up is volumes 1 through 4 of Batum, which is a definitely an older series. Not too old, but definitely an interesting series. It's like a battle royale in like this island. Basically, people get, for lack of a better phrase, people get kidnapped. They're put on this island, and they fight via bombs. I'm not joking. They fight via bombs, but different bombs have different abilities. And if you kill a certain amount, I guess you get to go home or something like that. And it's a battle royale done well. I like it. Next up is volumes. Oh, it's pretty dark here. You probably can't see it, but volumes 1 to 3 of Durarara again. But this is the how do you pronounce this? Saikai arc. Again, I can't really go into this because this is basically like a different arc. Different things happen. If you've read the original 4 volumes of Durarara, then get this. Then get the Yellow Scarves arc, because this is like the second thing of the arc. So like volumes 1 to 4 of Durarara that I showed you earlier is its own thing. Well, that's the beginning. Then it continues via the Saikai arc, so volumes 1 to 3, and then it continues back to the Yellow Scarves arc. So that's how like the Durarara manga is. It's like they branch it to different arcs and they release it differently, like that. Alright, next up, this is really weird. We have volumes 1 and 17 of The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. I basically bought volume 1 and then found at like a old comic book shop or whatever. And yeah, there's a whole lot of volumes that I'm probably going to have to get into, but you know what? I'd much rather read the light novels, because it goes into much more depth. But yeah, Haruhi, basically, if you don't know about Haruhi, there's time travelers, espers, and was it psychics? I forgot what it was. It was like time travelers, espers, something, oh my, and Kion is actually one of the main characters who's just like a normal regular dude. So like if you watch the anime, it's just a normal regular dude who basically has to go through with what Haruhi does, because Haruhi is basically, it's never described that she's a god, and I hate when people are like, oh, she's a god. It's just described like everything that has ever happened, like big cosmic things have happened around her. So like there's definitely something there. In anime, you know about Endless 8, and you know how much that sucked. Personally, I thought it was annoying, but it's definitely an interesting read, I guess. I only read volume 1, not 17, obviously, because I haven't read the rest. But yeah, read it if you want to, if you don't want to read the light novels. Next is volumes 1 and 2 of Hibiki Magic. I've never read. Again, it's a Tokyo Pop release. I hear it's good. Volume 1 of Aria. I watched the anime. I decided to start collecting some of the manga. I think it's only 11 volumes anyway, so it's pretty good. Hot Gimmick, never read, but volume 1, here it is. Again, just random buy. Blood Lad's an interesting manga. It is essentially Blood, the Stampede. No, not, that's Vash the Stampede, you fool. Blood, something. I forgot his name. I think it was Vampiric. I don't know. But like Blood is just an otaku vampire who lives in this mystical world of like creatures and stuff. One day, a random human girl falls into his world and he takes care of her because she turns into a ghost, and he needs to find out how to bring her back to life. And there's different like territories, and there's different bosses, and he's basically controlling one of them. He finds other people to find the cure for the girl because she's from Japan. Like he even takes like one of the Dragon Ball Z moves, and he tries attempting of doing it, and it's fails, so he does something else, and that works a hell of a lot better. But yeah, definitely like plays on the Shonen Jump sort of stereotypes or whatever. Definitely really interesting. I think it's 9 volumes long. I'm almost done reading it, like the scan translation stuff. I might pick up the rest, like the physical copies. They are like omnibuses, so this is technically volumes 1 and 2 in Japan, but they released it as an omnibus because it just makes sense, I guess. So really good. Bloody Brat is just like a side story based on Blood Lad. It's like funny, hijinks happen, stuff like that. I'm not really going to sell you on it. I'm not going to lie to you. I picked it up because some guy was selling it and it seemed interesting. Next up, oh boy, XX Holic, volumes 1 to 8. I think there might be 13 volumes total. I'm not 100% sure. Have never read. Want to watch the anime because it's made by Clamp. Clamp does some really good stuff, but I've just not had the time. So I will get into it. So probably. Volumes 1 to 4 of Shaman King. Shaman King's great. I loved watching the anime as a kid growing up. They're actually releasing the new like sort of version of the anime coming out, which is great because it needs a revamp badly. Not to say like the anime in the beginning was bad or anything, but like I really hope that they revamp it to like show some more important stuff because it does get better after the anime if you've read the manga. Next up is Tagami Baki, volumes 1 and 2. I think I read a couple chapters of this. I don't remember reading much of it. All I know is like I think he's a courier or something in like the wasteland, and he delivers mail or something, and along the way there's other stuff. Again, I have not I've not read it. I've only read a couple chapters of the first volume, and I thought it was interesting, but I guess maybe I should read more of it. I don't know. Maybe you guys have read it. It's pretty like for something like a shonen jump. It's pretty low on the radar of most people. They don't even know that it exists, which is kind of sad. Next up, Love Hina Volume 1. Love Hina. It's Love Hina, you know? Dude, it's basically it. It's like Nisekoi, just different. Next up is Soul Rescue Volume 2. Just again, a random pick. I don't know if I've read any of the volumes, like scan translations online. I have, though, have read the next one, Train Plus Train Volume 2. I barely remember what happened because I read this a long time ago. Again, these are just like sometimes you'll find random volumes because like some people were giving it away for free or like really cheap, and I just bought it. Next up is a really great series, Seven Deadly Sins Volumes 1 to 5. If you can pick it up, please. Don't hate season 3 of the anime because the animation quality kind of sucks. But season 1 and season 2, if you really like that, continue reading it because it is good. And it actually ended 37 volumes. I haven't read all of it yet because I've just been reading like the scan translations and stuff. But my God, is it great! Again, don't judge it based on season 3 of the anime. Please, for the love of God, like actually read the source material. It's actually amazing. And these are just random ass extra volumes of D and Angel that I own. Again, if it's Tokyo Pop, you should probably get them anyways. It's out of print. Okay, next up is volumes 1 to 4 of Death Note. I've not read all of Death Note because I've watched the anime. It's basically the anime. But my God, is Death Note the manga amazing? I want to pick up the black editions because I know that it's going to be good. Because the black editions of the manga are basically like 2-in-1s, and they're done a lot better. I was going to get like the box set, but I already own 4 volumes, so it just makes sense to get the black editions because why not? And then I can get a complete collection of Death Note, the manga. Definitely worth your time. I don't want to explain the plot of Death Note because I'm sure like everyone and their grandmother has, but yeah, look it up if you don't know anything about it because it's actually really good. Volumes 1 to 5 of Arcana. Again, like an American comic book. It's read like that. I got it because it just seemed interesting because why not? Next up is volumes 1 to 3 of Nisekoi. Sorry if it's a little dark here, but yeah, Nisekoi. It's good. I like it. It definitely ended. Basically, the plot of Nisekoi is Raku has to decide who he likes. It's a harem, and he made a decision at the end. I will give my own opinion in a later video about that. Really, really good. Maybe I didn't like the decision that he made, though. Really didn't care for it. Anyways, next up, one of the greatest things you can read, though, volumes 1 to 2 of Hunter x Hunter. I should really get more. It's really good so far, but it does pick up a lot. Gon is like a guy. His dad gone by. I try to make like gone joke, whatever. His dad left him, and he wants to go become a hunter. He does the hunter exam. And a lot of shenanigans happen along the way. And again, there's 2 animes. There's like their 1990s or 2000s one, and then like the recent one to watch if you want to. Definitely go watch it if you haven't. Next up is volumes 1 to 21 of Care Kono. I've not read it. I think it's a romance manga. And I hear it's really good. Again, I bought it because somebody decided to sell a complete collection of it. And I was like, hey, they're selling it pretty cheap. Why the hell not? I mean, as a collector of manga, it just makes sense. Again, also by Tokyo Pop. If you find the Tokyo Pop logo, buy it, because they're not circulating anymore. Right, next up, we actually had to move to a different shelf, because I've been trying to sort of make more room, because I don't want to stack volumes on top, and I want to be able to buy more in the future. Volumes 1 to 5 of Soul Eater. I've not personally read Soul Eater yet. I know very little about it because I've only seen the abridged series to it. And it looks interesting. I just haven't, again, had the time to read all of it. But this is just volumes 1 to 5. Someone was selling it, so I was like, hey, why not? I think it's only 27 volumes anyway, so it might be easier to finish the collection off of it. But yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Next up is Genshiken Volumes 1 to 9. Now, if I believe this correctly, there is more Genshiken, but this is just sort of like the one part. It's kind of like the Durarara manga where it's like it separates itself into different arcs and what have you. So this is Genshiken Volume 9. This is like a complete arc. So yeah, Volumes 1 to 9, but there's more to the story, from what I remember. Over here we have Chibi Vampire Volumes 1 all the way to 14. It's a complete collection. Again, someone was just selling their complete collection of a Tokyo Pop release, so I was like, hell yeah. So Chibi Vampire, I know very little of. I can't give like a full review or like even an opinions about it because I just personally don't know much about it. But it's a complete collection. It's only 14 volumes long. I'll probably get to it and then give my own thoughts and opinions in the form of a video in the future, hopefully. Next up, we have one of my favorite mangas. That's Noragami Volumes 1 to 5. The interesting thing about the Noragami releases for the manga is that each cover, each cover, it has different colors to it, and I thought that was really interesting. I know a lot of people with like maybe OCD might look at it and be like, damn, that is really annoying to look at, but I personally don't mind that it has different colors to it. I think it's an interesting idea that they have. But yeah, Noragami is like really good. It follows the plot of a god named Yato. Yato is sort of this new god that they got showing up here. There you go. Here's Yato, and he does favors for people for about like 5 yen. So basically, you give him 5 yen, and he'll try to make your dreams come true. Within reason. He's not like a huge god. He's actually a very little known god. And one day he hopes to have his own shrine so that people can come and pray, give him tribute. His tribute is 5 yen. Maybe he'll up the price eventually. But one day he meets a female high school student whose name is escaping my mind. But but he meets her. She basically dies because of him, and he feels kind of guilty. And he's like, okay, I need to put your spirit back into your body fully so that you can never like get out, because like her spirit, she's basically a spirit, and like she can definitely access her physical body, but she can't do it all the time, and she like sees spirits and she's in trouble because of that. So he's trying to put her back in her original body so that she can continue on being a normal high school student. And he has this sort of holy weapon that's also a spirit that he uses to kill demons and other spirits and stuff like that. It's really intriguing, but the basic essence of it, the basic plot, is that Yato is not a well-known god. He wants to eventually get his own shrine and be up there with like the big boys. That's like the basic essence of it, but it's definitely character driven, and it's really good. It's actually really interesting. There are 2 seasons of the anime, and I highly already. Next up is volumes 1 all the way through to 4 of Magi. Magi was actually one of the first kind of mangas I collected when I first started collecting this back in, I want to say 2014. It was actually, it might have been 2013. I'm not 100% sure. But I started collecting manga at a very early on in my sort of otaku phase, or whatever you want to call it, and Magi was one of them. And Magi is a really good series, both the anime and the manga. The initial plot, like the plot is basically, this is Aladdin. no, sorry, is his name Aladdin? Dude, I totally forgot. But like, okay, yeah, I think no, he's not Aladdin. He's, what the hell is he? He's called something. I forgot what his name was. But oh my god, it's been such a long time. I'm sorry, it's been like years, like 4 years. But anyways, it's like, if you know like Arabian Nights, it's kind of like that, but a little bit different. Like there's, oh yeah, no, he is Aladdin, right? Because that's Aladdin, that's Alibaba, isn't it? Oh my god, I'm confusing myself. But because that's Sinbad. These are all characters named after like popular sort of Arabian themed stories and stuff. But basically, God, I'm gonna get roasted in the comments. But the initial plot, the basic plot is like they are Magis or Magi, however you want to pronounce it. I say Magi, which is kind of like magician, whatever, right? And there's a bunch of them, and they find sort of potential kings. Who they view to be like the next king of the land and stuff like that. And there's different dungeons in which you can go to, and if you win in the dungeon, like if you go there and capture like the dungeon or whatever, you get sort of these powers. Like a genie comes out.
they're basically, he's not a genie, but the thing around him is a vessel for genies. Different, they're not called genies though, because that's the English translation. It's Djinns, something like that. It's an Arabic term, but they're basically genies. And they don't necessarily grant wishes, but they grant power and wealth and all. So if you capture like the dungeon, you'll get like a lot of money and a big power boost, because each little relic gives you a certain ability type. That's why my boy Sinbad, if you know the legend, Sinbad conquered the 7 seas. He conquered a lot of dungeons, and it basically gave him a lot of wealth and power at a very early age. There is actually like a 12-episode anime based on Sinbad. I think there might be a manga as well, but probably go check out the anime, because it is interesting, because Sinbad is definitely an interesting character. But the interesting, like Aladdin, Alibaba, whatever, all these characters, Morgana, I think, is the redhead one. All these characters you meet in the beginning are really interesting, and they're really cool, and the plot's really great. It's like, it's so cool to see a plot that's based on like the Arabian Nights and stuff like that. Where it's like Alibaba and the 40 Thieves or whatever, and Arabian Nights, 1,000 Nights or whatever, 1,000 Nights in Arabia or whatever the hell. I just thought that was really cool and interesting to see. So definitely, if you haven't, go pick it up, go read it, go watch it. It's worth your time. Definitely do that. Okay, next up is sort of, these are omnibus volumes. Volumes 1, I'm missing 2, but then volumes 1 and then missing 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 of the series Death, Until Death Do Us Part, I think is what it's called. Yeah, Until Death Do Us Part. Probably, if you've already picked up, I know very little about this. I've not read it yet. I basically found this at like a Goodwill store it had a really good deal. It was like buy 3, get the 4th one free. And all in all, apart from the fact that I'm missing volume 2 because they just didn't have it for some reason, this entire collection cost me about $60. So like, these are huge volumes as well. So I can only assume these are omnibuses from EM Press and whatnot. But like, my God, I will eventually read it. Again, there's a lot of mangas that I'll eventually get to. I've just been busy, guys. Come on, give me a break. But goddamn, the fact that I paid that much money for this amount of manga is actually really interesting. And it seems like it's an interesting plot idea. Like the main character, he's blind, and I think he's like an assassin, and he's helping out with like super killing abilities, and there's other assassins and stuff. I don't know, I could be bullshitting, but I do know that the guy is blind. And he does kill for money. So this is a pretty interesting read if you want to get into it. It is pretty long, obviously, because there's like 13 omnibuses to it. But I definitely would if you have the time to look into it, at least. Next up in the collection is a single volume. Technically, it's a 2-in-1 because it's 2 volumes in Japan, but in the North Americans, it's one omnibus. So all you need is Kill by Takeshi Obata, who did Death Note, the art for Death Note. It's really good. Like, if you've ever seen the movie Edge of Tomorrow with like Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt, it's basically this. Like, it was, from what I remember, it was the novel, then the manga, then the live action movie, and I don't know if there was like a Japanese movie or not. I'm not 100% sure, but it was like light novel, manga, movie. The manga's really good. In fact, the manga's ending is different from the movie's ending. So if you've seen the movie, read the manga, because the manga might have a better ending in the movie. I actually believe that the manga has a better ending than the movie, and I will make a video discussing why that is. I'm not going to spoil it right now, because it is a future topic, but it's really good. Like, it's a pretty lengthy book, too. Again, it is it is basically an omnibus, because in Japan it's 2 volumes. Oh look, it's the Full Metal Bitch. That is actually what she is called in the manga, the Full Metal Bitch, which I thought was really funny. So yeah, it's a really good read. It's only like the 1 volume, but it's pretty big, but it's definitely if you have the time, go pick that up. Next up on the collection is Dragon Ball by Akira Toriyama. I don't have to speak too much about it because it's Dragon Ball. We all know what Dragon Ball is. Not to be confused with Dragon Ball Z, which introduces Super Saiyan, which is just Son Goku, Kid Goku, child Goku, not adult Goku, not SS3 Goku, SS2, or even SS, or whatever. It doesn't exist at all in the original Dragon Ball, because it's just legit a fighting shonen. And it was pure and cool. I mean, like, yeah, Super Saiyan form is really cool, don't get me wrong. I like when his hair goes yellow and he's growing static and all that stuff. But Dragon Ball, confuse yourself with Dragon Ball Z, and it's really good in terms of, like, the granddaddy of shonen fighting mangas and, like, tournament arcs and stuff like that. It's up there with Yu Yu Hakusho. So, this is just Volume 1. These are, like, the big Viz Big editions, so, like, they're really big. And it's really well done, actually. Like, it's like the pages is good quality. These are how I want big editions to be. If you're gonna like 2-in-1 this or whatever, I'd rather they be like this, good quality. So definitely do pick up these versions if you can, or the single versions, whatever is convenient for you. Like the box set, set's pretty convenient, but like these are really nice to hold and read. So yeah, definitely check out Dragon Ball. Next up in the collection is Doubt Volumes 1 and 2. I'll be honest with you guys, again, I have not read this. I only bought this because Joey, the anime man, recommended to read it, and I bought this so long ago that I'll be honest, I completely forgot I even had it. That's what you get for not categorizing your manga. I'm told by Joey it's really good. Doubt, Judge, those series all basically kind of the same. He says they're really good, so I'll trust his word for it. These are definitely bigger volumes, though. I feel like these are, like, again, omnibuses where it's like 2-in-1, because I guess in Japan there's a total of 4 volumes, whereas in North America they released it as like 2 volumes that are just really big. But yeah, if you know anything about Doubt, let me know if you think it's worth my time or not. Joey, the anime man, again, gave the recommendation for this, so I trusted him at that. Okay, next up in the collection, this is a different shelf, this is the third shelf, is Gangsta, Volume 1. If you don't know anything about Gangsta, basically, Alex, and I forgot what his partner's name was, I'm so sorry, again, it's been such a long time, are mercenaries in what I can only describe to be as like a Black Lagoon setting, where they're paid to kill, and this character here is actually deaf, so he can only speak with ASL, and he has like dog tags. I think the more dog tags you have or something like that, the higher it means like you're actually a trained pro assassin. It's been such a long time. I know like just the basic plots. Like they live in this scummy town. They meet this woman who is treated pretty poorly like a prostitute, and they take her. They take her in to protect her. This character used to be a gigolo back in the day to earn some money. They had really rough lives. Actually, he was. Well, I don't want to spoil it too much, but he was like sort of like an aristocrat, and everything went to shit. And he met the deaf kid. They were kids when they met, and they just became partners and killing. And there's like gang wars and drugs and cartels and all the good stuff. And like Black Lagoon is in Gangsta. It's a damn shame the studio who made the anime went out of business. They filed for bankruptcy, so we will never get a season 2 of it, but goddamn is it great. I do love Gangsta, and I do want to pick up more of it. I don't know if they've stopped making more manga, like the mangaka, or not, and that's the problem with these types of mangas, is that if it's really good, odds are the people making it are taking a break. So just be very wary about that. But Gangsta, definitely, I would recommend anyone to pick it up. Okay, next up in the collection is volumes 1 to 6 of Terra for Mars. The only thing I can describe of Terra for Mars is... they go to Mars to colonize it, and in it are giant humanoid cockroaches that are going to kill them and all of humanity if they ever manage to get back on Earth. So far, each, basically like different countries around the world, it's like a UN thing. They all decided, hey, we're going to go to Mars, we're going to terraform it, and hopefully we get along. Yeah, that's not the case at all. There's some backstabbing and some plotting and some hidden mysteries in here. But basically, different countries go to Mars to try to colonize it, to make it habitable, because Earth is basically a shit show. Also, there's a virus that they need to find a cure for, and they can apparently find it on Mars. Like, there's some testing there. So they need to bring back, like, human cockroach species to test, to basically find a cure, and different people have different bug-like powers. And I kid you not, one of the characters in the manga is called Adolf, and he's from Germany. But he's such a sweet character. He's such a sweet guy that, like, you learn his backstory and you feel so bad. Like, you just want to give him a hug. Definitely, there's 2 seasons of the show. I highly recommend watching it. I definitely did enjoy watching the anime and reading the manga. The anime might be a little bad because there's a lot of censoring of the gory bits, and that's kind of what pisses me off. Because I hate when they do, like, the light reflection of, like, decapitation. Oh yeah, by the way, it's very violent what happens. Like, those cockroach bug creatures just start killing a bunch of people for no apparent reason. They just really hate humans, and, like, some of them are, like, higher intelligence and stuff and different powers. It's a shit show, but it's you want to strap on in this roller coaster and you want to ride it for as long as you can because it's really good. I like it. You should definitely try and pick it up. Okay, next up in the collection is volumes 1 all the way through to 10. Oh, it's really dark here. Of Girl Got Game. Girl Got Game is a basketball manga that, you know how I said earlier, I've never read a bad basketball manga? This is kind of borderline there. It's not terrible, but it's really not that great either. It's like they don't really focus on the basketball aspect, which kind of sucks. They just kind of focus on, like, this human relationships and stuff, which would be fine in most sports settings. Kind of, like, presented in a way that's like, oh, it's just a bit of basketballs in it, and it's mainly just like relationship. He loves her, but she loves him, and triangles and squares. Like, who cares, man? Show me the basketball. But they don't care. They know they don't care. It's self-aware that they joke about it to the point where you're like, man, this sucks. So I got this for like $1.20 each volume. Again, it's Tokyo Pop. Buy whatever you can. But definitely, you don't have to buy this. It's not too terrible because there's some good parts to it, but it's also really not that good either. Next up in the collection is volumes 1 to 10, a complete collection of something called PhD, Fantasy Degree. It is read like an American comic. I know nothing about it other than the fact that it's read like an American comic and it's by Tokyo Pop. So again, anything by Tokyo Pop, try to get your hands on. And the last thing in my collection here is Bloody Monday, volumes 1 to 2. If you like Death Note, you'll like Bloody Monday. It's 11 volumes total. I'm going to see if I can try to get the rest of it, but goddamn is it good. So yeah. Alright, now I'm going to be showing you guys my Bakuman box set. This I got for my birthday for only about like $100. You get volumes 1 to 20. It's a complete collection. Obviously, it is a box set. And what's interesting about Bakuman as a manga is that it's a manga about making manga. Like, you rarely get that these days. Yeah, sure, you'll get animes about making manga, but that's what's interesting about this. In fact, it actually comes with the manga that the characters in the manga made. This is like mangaception. This is like truly weird. But yeah, they made like a manga, a little chapter about otters living in our world, and I thought it was just interesting. So as I said before, it is a box set. You do get the complete collection. If you want to know where you can get this, Amazon usually has it for a fairly good price. I have noticed it gone up in price, but it is an amazing manga. I highly recommend everyone go check it out. Definitely worth the buy. The next box set that I managed to get is the Ouran High School Host Club box set. It's a complete collection with volumes 1 to 18 on it. One thing that I really like about Ouran is that it's a reverse harem that's done really well. Like, the main character Haruhi doesn't go by like most stereotypical tropes. She's her own sort of independent woman, surrounded by like it was best summed up in the anime. It's just a bunch of beautiful dudes who have way too much free time and money on their hands, and that's why they have the host club. They entertain the ladies, and she breaks an expensive vase from them, and so she pays them off by pretending to be a host member, and it's comedic, it's got heart, it's got romance, it's everything I love in a reverse harem and much more. Definitely buy. Alright, the last box that I want to show you guys is my Full Metal Alchemist box set. Full Metal Alchemist is basically the #1 anime on Mal. If you don't know what it is, it's basically you follow two brothers, Edward Elric, Alphonse Elric, and their journey into bringing back their mother through alchemy. And in it, there's like a bunch of conspiracies and plots within their land that they have to solve together, and you have a whole bunch of characters. One of my favorite characters is Roy Mustang, the Flame Alchemist. This is a complete collection. It's volumes 1 to 27, and it even includes the novel, The Ties That Bind, which is a good read. You should definitely get the box set because of that. And it does come with like a little poster, as does the other manga box sets you saw before. But Full Metal Alchemist, definitely, if you've not watched it, or if you've only watched the anime, please read the manga. It's that good. I highly recommend it. And that is all for the manga box sets. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed. Comment down below your favorite manga series that I currently own, I guess, or a manga series that you recommend that I should start collecting and reading, or just reading in general. I definitely am taking suggestions, even though there's a whole lot on my plate that I need to catch up on. But
Give this video a thumbs up, I greatly appreciate that. Subscribe to the channel, stay tuned, there will be more videos, I can promise you that definitely. I've been your host, Fraser2198, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye!